Mr. Ekow Essuman, what was going on up there? Come on, tell me about it.
Just as it is, Nottingham versus Derby. Obviously, tempers are going to flare. Just is how it is. War of words, really. But
So
really,
you've been running scared of him. He beats you up in sparring. Come on, answer these allegations.
well, as they say, you fuck around and you find out, and he's fucked around, so he's only got to find out.
Tell me about it. I mean, this fight does seem to have been on the cards for a long time. It's been something of a slow burner, is that fair?
Yeah, you can see it's taken a while to accumulate. I respect the fact that he has done the work to get the fight, to get the mandatory spot. However, like I did mention, he did avoid the final eliminator with Liam Taylor, which is just fact.
To be here.
Who happened to be here, and it's just fact. Like you can't deny that. But aside from that, he is mandatory, but he's mandatory to be the next victim of my success, unfortunately.
What do you make of this sort of side of things where, you know, he fights ugly, he doesn't make people look good, people don't want to fight him because, you know, he just does make things look a bit uncomfortable? Is that, what's your take on that?
He's a good spoiler. He spoils other people's styles. And if you're a spoiler, obviously, if someone doesn't want to fight you, you straight away you'll be like, I'm avoided, I'm this and that. But I mean, it just is what it is, really. He's just got a style that judges might not like to see because it makes it hard for them to score and stuff. So it might actually work against him in some departments. You have to know when to spoil, not just spoil all the time and stuff like that.
So was he spoiling when he silenced your gym that time?
He's never silenced my gym.
Fifth defence now.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Sixth
was
of the IBF.
and there was talk of the IBF final eliminator. A purse bid was won. Cody
Crawley from Canada.
Crawley,
yeah,
that's it. It never really felt like that was going to happen, did it?
It doesn't seem like yeah, I was thinking he's not saying much on socials. He's being very coy, and then I started reading about things like he had like his WBC ranking, and he might get a WBC interim shot. And then I started thinking, well, is he going to want to take this fight, or what's he going to want? It's going to boil down to money. And I knew Frank Warren won the purse bid, but because of how he won the purse bid, I knew after that, he's going to go for the money. Like, you can't really complain too much about that. I mean, out of all the governing belt bodies, if you get given a really high purse for one fight and a lower purse for another, well.
What's your understanding of where that leaves you now with the IBF? Will they find you another eliminator, or will they push you forward in the number one spot to be a mandatory challenger?
I think as to the rules, they should allegedly push me up. However, they could find me someone else to fight, and I'm happy either way. I just want to fight, really. I mean, because they were still going to take a while to secure me a fight day or push for me to fight whoever, and negotiations with that and this, that, the other. Frank still got me out, and I'm happy for that.
That's where this British title is good currency, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You're always going to have a challenger, aren't you?
People are angry I still have the British title, but I'm always going to have someone of British level, that's wicked level to fight against, and it's going to keep me going. I mean, don't get me wrong, as soon as I get that world title fight where you can't hold on to the British, I'm not going to be holding on to it, obviously. Like, I want to.
You already own it.
Yeah, I want to move up in level. I want to fight that world level opponent and whatnot. And British opponents are, when they're fighting for the British, that is their world title fight. So in some degree, I am getting practice for that. So I'm happy about that.
If certain welterweights suddenly want the British title once you've given it up.
Yeah, it's funny that. But I mean, I have something that everyone wants. When I relinquish it, then obviously people are going to come out the woodworks, because obviously it's open season, just like for me in this IBF world title situation. Like, say if Crawford moves up in weight, it's going to leave a void open. Everyone's going to run for it, including me. Like, you'd be stupid not to. So you can't blame people for going for what they want. I just happen to have what people want. So in some degree, I don't take it personally they're coming for what they want, but I do because I have it.
What did you think of that last fight, but being the away fighter and all that? How was that dynamic for you?
It was cool.
They weren't happy. They didn't like it, did they?
No,
they didn't accept defeat very gracefully, did they? So.
No, you didn't. But I mean, it is what it is. Even in, when I had my defence against Danny Ball in Birmingham, and I felt like, going to the Lions' Den to do my defence, like,
broke
wow.
his jaw, didn't it?
Yeah, but then the next level of that was to go on the away show and show that, even if I'm on that away promotional bill, I can obviously present myself well, and I can come away with the win, box well, perform, do what I do.
Come from behind a bit, didn't you?
Pardon?
You had to come from behind a little bit.
He started off well, but we knew he'd start off well.
You knew the old engine would kick in.
But as I said to him, he hadn't been through those 12 rounders, so he didn't know what to expect. He didn't know the experience. He didn't know what it felt like past the rounds he was used to, and I made sure he felt what it feels like past the rounds that he was used to.
Just finally, on this November 18, I mean, what do you think the sort of fans, spectators, television viewers can expect in this fight? I mean, because people will think the old horrible Harry, is he going to make it a stinker? What do you think? What do you think we're going to get?
I'm not going to give him the chance to. It's going to be a very physical fight. He's going to, if he comes for his usual style, he's going to regret it. But to be honest, whatever he does, he's just going to regret the fact he got made mandatory for the beating, as I said.
He had a bit to say today, but I suppose nearer the time you'd have to throw Clifton into the mix as well. You won't be able to get a word in edgeways.
He's been trained well, put it that way.
Everything all right? Family good?
Yeah, family good.
Little Prince?
Can't complain. Yeah, Prince is good. Little Atto, little atomic bomb he is. And Bella, she has my energy, so she's keeping me on my toes. So I'm busy in the gym. Do you work your
training around sort of childcare and school runs and all that? Does it all fit in quite nicely?
Yeah. Well, 2 under 2, so they're keeping us on our toes. But yeah, everything works. So I'm training 2-3 times a day. Still spending time with the family. Obviously, boxing has to take a precedent in camp, so obviously there's stresses here and there, but nothing that no one else hasn't or doesn't already go through. Really,
all these fights building towards a nice new house in the poshest part of Nottingham. Maybe.
When I go to bed after a hard day's training, I think, but you know what? I'm going to secure some things for my son and my daughter, and my wife, and
move in next to Carl Frotch or something.
I've got big whys, and that's why there's always fuel in my engine.
Good man. Cheers, mate.